Hey y'all, I'm Blaine Phillips.
And I'm Jason-LeVan.
We're married, like just a minute ago, but we've been together for 14 years.
We have a teenage daughter.
Which means she's basically an adult, right?
We're also growing a business on the side together.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Through all of that, we've learned how to improve so many aspects of our lives and show up in an amazing way.
So we decided to host a podcast to share our journey with you.
It's called Let's Do Life Together, because that's just what we want to do with you.
So if you could use some tips and tricks on how to make life a little smoother,
then you're in the right place.
come on in and let's do life.
Happy Valentine's Day! It is officially February 14th, if you were listening to this episode on the day that it comes out, Valentine's Day. And you've been hanging out with us for a while now, so chances are you know that one of us is kind of a sappy, hopeless romantic, and the other one
is me.
Yeah, and there you go. But it is Valentine's Day, or it was Valentine's Day whenever you're listening to this. But this year, we kind of want to encourage you to change that day up a little bit. In fact, the whole month, really, we're going to be talking about love, as we told you, and we want you to think of things a little differently. Of course, yes, it's Valentine's Day, and it's a time where lots of people spend it with their special person. They do something cool, and go ahead, do that. That's totally fine. But we also want you to honor yourself, and that's why today our episode is entitled Be Your Own Valentine.
Right, and that's for today and every day.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, when is the last time you really just stopped and loved yourself, especially us mamas? We are far too busy loving on everybody else around us. So we want to encourage you to love on yourself. So we're going to give you 5 quick ways to make that happen.
Right, and we can insert all those cliches here, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. And
shattering a glass vase, something.
What else?
I don't know. Can't serve. I don't know. Whatever. You get the point. Like, you gotta fill up yourself first. So ready? 5 tips, 5 ways, 5 whatever you want to call them to be your own Valentine. Number 1, hang with me, girl. Are you here? We're doing this. Write yourself a love note. Yes, do it. I'm not even kidding. When's the last time you got one from maybe your spouse or someone wrote something nice on a card for you? Didn't that feel really good to hear those words and read them and just see that someone had something nice to say about yourself? Bet you've done it for your spouse, or you put notes in your kids' lunchbox and they love finding them. Well, what about the same for yourself? When's the last time, if ever, you sat down and just told yourself how awesome you are? You probably haven't ever done it, or it's been a really long time. So take 5 minutes, pick yourself out a pretty piece of stationery and write a note to yourself of all the things that you are rocking and how awesome you are. You want to take it up a notch? Hide that little note somewhere where you might find it in a month or so, and you just needed to read it again and know that you are doing a really good job.
Right, or you could mail it to yourself or have your spouse mail it, something like that.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
So one of our conferences we went to, we wrote out some words of encouragement and vision to ourselves, and the organizer kept those and then mailed them to us a few months later. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. You could give it to your spouse or your friend or whatever and say, hey, can you mail me this? And don't even tell them when. And then it'll magically show up and you'll be able to remind yourself.
Right. Plus, there's definitely power in pen to paper in that aspect of it.
So much power.
Number 2 is to just do something just for you. So oftentimes as parents and partners, we're giving to other people, we're serving other people, we're busy with everybody else's life. And we don't take the time to intentionally do something that just brings us joy and it doesn't involve other people.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be something that you do alone. So for me, a few years back, I was looking for something that I can do, like just for me. And I joined a photo club. So I have camera, I like to use it, I like to take pictures. what that did was it just carved out the time that I was going to go do something that I enjoy. And it didn't have anything to do with the rest of the family.
Yeah, I love a pedicure. I do. I really, really do. I love sitting there in the warmth and the massaging back chair and all the things. And so that's something that I don't do often. But when I want to do something for me, a pedicure is up there. Maybe it is a lunch date, just you at the table, and it's quiet and no one's asking for a bite of your food and you don't have to make small talk or anything. You just want to go sit at your favorite little place and have your favorite little chicken salad sandwich and enjoy that time. That's okay. Do that just for you. Girl, if you want to grab your Kindle, get yourself a new book and curl up on the couch for an afternoon of reading, that is for you, and you get to do that. Do something that is for you to love yourself.
And encourage your partner to do those things, because it's really going to come back. It's going to have positive impact on your relationship if you're giving each other that space and that time to do an act, do something that they enjoy.
I was never a turd when Jason would tell me I have photo club tonight. I would be like, that's awesome. And Sienna and I might have something cool for dinner if he wasn't around or whatever, like encourage them. And then he comes home and he has new experiences to talk to me about and things to share. And just last week, I had been needing a pedicure, like actually needing it. We're running and my feet were hurting and we had started food prepping as a family. And Jason said, hey, Sienna and I can knock this out. Why don't you go get your pedicure right now? And he meant it. And I knew that. And I did. I left them. I didn't feel bad about it because I did my share and they food prep. They finished up the food prep and I took an hour for myself and took an hour and a half because I went to a new place, but whatevs. And I went and got my pedicure and I sat there and I enjoyed it because doing something for ourselves is a good thing. And I came back and I had a funny story to tell and I was refreshed and then I was ready to spend a great evening with the family.
Right. It should almost be required, that everybody has something for themselves that they do. So.
Yeah. So the third one is, listen, if you love yourself, I have a t-shirt that says, eat like you love yourself. And that's true. Making healthier choices in your life is one of the very best ways that you can love yourself. And we wouldn't be us if we didn't talk about this. Let's just keep it real. You want to fuel your body and move your body like you love it. And I'm going to step on a soapbox here for a second and talk to you parents. If you would say, I wouldn't eat that, then you shouldn't be feeding it to your children. If there are things in your house that you don't eat because you believe it is too sugary or too carby or too whatever it is that you've decided too not good for you, it doesn't make you feel good when you eat it, then why is it in your house? And why would you feed it to your children? Because making healthier choices is for you to love yourself and love all of those people around. So instead of indulging today, instead of downing the bag of Dove chocolate, show yourself that you love yourself by making healthier choices.
And that can be any area of health. So physical, nutrition, exercise, sleep, or mental health also. So
yeah.
Just taking the time for yourself, just honoring that your choices are for you and you're not making choices because other people.
Yeah, you want to feel good in your body, energized, not achy, good in your genes and all the things. So honor you be your own Valentine and honor you by making healthier choices. All right, coming in with tip number 4. Jason, this one's really all you.
So what I would call tip number 4 is making space and finding moments of silence. And I say making space because it's really, for me, it's meditation. It started as meditation, but it's calming the mind, clearing the mind, having, 5, 10, 15 minutes every day of silence. I do guided meditation and what I've learned is that I can carry that on throughout the day in different aspects. And it's, releasing the tension, having the awareness, and then releasing the tension in your body, which helps clear your mind. Our minds are so busy. We need to make space so that you can focus on other things and make improvements overall in your life.
He's done so well with this past year, and it's been such a encouragement for me to start it. It is a brand new practice for me that I'm just figuring out how to work into my day and how to add meditation and add that space. But even the little bit that I'm starting to tiptoe in, I can already notice we just need a break sometimes, just 5 minutes to step away and clear your mind. And it is such a great way to love yourself.
Right. And Sienna knows when I'm doing woo-woo time, and she doesn't disturb me because it's time I'm taking for myself.
Yep. And that is, it's really good. And it's important for them to know that too, that you need time for yourself. And they do too. We all do. And coming in with the last one, this one is definitely mine. So another tip to love yourself, to be your own Valentine, is start saying no more often. Yes, I know, I said it, but say no. We cannot take care of us if our plate is overflowing. Then you have allowed the world and everybody around to fill up all of your space and all of your time, and there's no time left for those pedicures or for receiving that note or for making those healthier choices, whatever it is, if you're not just saying no. So you really want to prioritize. What do you want to do? And there's a book on my list to read this year. The book is called For the Love, and it's by Jen Hatmaker. I have not read it yet, but several of my friends have. And one of the concepts, I'm sure it's a great book, and I am going to read it in 2019. But one of the concepts she talks about in the book is if something comes at you, a request for your time, for you to do something, whatever it is, if it's not, here we go. I talked about cussing in last episode, but we're doing it. If it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no. Boom. Just like that. It's done. If that enters into your space and they're like, hey, do you want to da 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 da? Or will you da 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 da? If you're not like, hell yeah, I want to do that. I'm so excited. It brings me so much joy. Then it's a hell no.
Right.
That's it.
Why would we want to start something you're not excited about?
Right. No, I guess I could do that. Okay, I'll figure it out. No, just say no. It is okay. The person on the other end I promise they will appreciate your no more than your half-hearted yes and your half-hearted effort at actually doing it. It's not going to bring you joy. The end result is likely not going to bring them joy. And doing things out of obligation is no fun. And it's big fat time sucker. And you have no time left for yourself.
Right. So you have to make space on your calendar. I talked about making space in your mind, but make space in your calendar. I think somebody says the magic happens, or make room for magic.
Yes.
So if you're totally booked with other commitments and not, having time for yourself, the magic is not going to happen. There's no room for it.
No, and those commitments that you don't even want to do in the first place. Honey, you don't have to. There is someone else out there who it does bring their heart's joy to go work bingo. And if it's not yours, take bingo off the calendar. Just say no. That's it. All right, so we're focusing on loving ourselves. That's the point. It's February. It's Valentine's Day. We're all about loving it. But when you love yourself more and you fill your cup up more, it starts to ripple. It will spill over. We talk about you can't pour from an empty cup. Well, guess what? When the cup is full, it overflows. And that overflow makes ripples out into your world. Your family feels it. Your kids feel it. Your coworkers and all the people that you interact with just know that you're coming from a fuller place of joy, and it starts to impact them. So whether it is writing yourself that note or just doing something for you, making healthier choices, getting your woo-woo on like Jason, or making more space in your calendar by saying no to the things that aren't a hell yeah, you can find time to love on you.
And it's up to you. It's your responsibility to do this. So pick one, put it into practice, see how you feel, maybe start stacking other ones on there, and be your own Valentine today and every day.
Absolutely. Did you know that you, while listening to me talk right now, can go to your podcast app, click on the little button, and copy this link? You never have to stop listening to me in your ear, and then you can text it directly to someone that you love. So why don't you do that right now? Keep listening to us and send it to someone that you love, that you think needs to love on themselves a little bit more, that this episode could help them make time in their lives and help them join our love movement for February, because we would love it. All right. Happy Valentine's Day. And we can't wait for you to share what you're doing to love yourself and share it with your friends. See you next week.